What's up, America? Neil here with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to have a quick little tutorial, if you will, on what I look for defensive knives. So let's get started. So first and foremost, it's not really a brand thing. You can pick whatever brand you prefer. This one happens to be a Kershaw. This is called the Knockout, I believe. I've been carrying this a pretty long time. You'll be able to see from a lot of the wear there and on the actual pocket clip itself. I carry this one pretty much every day, and it's an assisted knife. Again, you have to check your local laws for what you can and can't carry. All that said, one of the things I look for in a folding knife, if I'm going to use it obviously as a self-defense option, where the clip aligns in relation to the blade itself is important. So in this configuration, this would be tip up. So there's obviously the tip of the knife, so it's carried in the pocket with the clip here. And in many knife brands and whatnot, you can switch that. You can put them on different sides, and I'm going to get to the philosophy of why we do that in a second. Here's another example. This is a CRKT knife, a great utility knife that I like to use quite a bit. This one is not assisted open. It's just got a thumb stud there and a little lever in the back. It'll deploy pretty quickly. This one needs a little oil on it, but nonetheless, the reason I'm showing you this is I'm just showing you where the clip is oriented in this one. So this would be tip down. All right, so for any type of tool that I want, for any type of knife that I want to use for defensive purposes, I want to carry it tip up. So let's talk about why that is. So if we look at this, this is again tip up. If I need to get a hold of this tool for whatever reason and I need to pull this out, when I do so, the blade is oriented upward, and my mechanical opening of the knife, I don't have to do anything with my hand. So basically when this comes out, I can already deploy the blade, ready to go. All right, if I have time to switch into a rear grip like this, I will always take that option. But regardless, I don't have to fumble around from pulling it out of the pocket to deploying the blade. I don't have to change anything. Now, if we look at carrying it tip down, right? So we put that in there. When I go to pull it out, now I have to manipulate this knife somehow, because I can't deploy the blade because of the way it's oriented. So I've got to roll it in my hand and then try to open it up. So from economy of motion, and of course time is critically important in a situation like that, from here when I pull it straight out, I can deploy that blade. Whereas in this way, when I pull it out, I'm gonna have to flip it around in my hand to try to get it out. And again, probably in a scenario where you're in some type of fight or whatever the situation is, and you can see the advantage of being much more efficient this way. And then as far as folding knives go, if you can carry an assisted open knife, I like that. Most important thing, of course, though, is that it locks. It has to have a locking mechanism in there in order for it to be an effective tool, because otherwise the blade can fold in on you and then you got a whole lot of problems. You may have injured yourself before you even gotten involved. So that's pretty important. All that aside, the most effective tool that I found as far as a knife goes is going to be a fixed blade knife, because that way I don't have to mess with anything. So here's one of my favorites. All right, that's the K-bar. This is the TDI knife, and it's got an unusual shape to it, and it's designed to be pretty intuitive. You just hold it in your hand and you've got a lot of thrust. First off, a knife is going to be far more effective at bad breath distance than a gun. You can deploy it a lot faster, and obviously it's going to have devastating results. So on the TDI knife, it has the sheath with it that clips in my belt, so I can deploy it really quickly. Again, if I have to pull this out and use it, way faster than I can do so with a gun, and again, much more effective at a close distance. Plus, as you can see, if I really, as tight as if you have a really tight fitting shirt, it still fits and still covers really well. You can conceal it very easily. So a great little tool for that purposes. And this one I carry in the appendix area. I don't do that from my gun. I carry it 4 o'clock. This is my preference. Everybody's got their own. But for the knife, I carry it right up front. Great option as far as self-defense is concerned. So Kim brought up a question that we get a lot about, do you go serrated or not serrated? It's personal preference. I generally don't have serrated knives just because I use a belt style sander, and it's just easy to do it with just a regular non-serrated knife. It again makes no difference one way or the other, and you can sharpen a serrated knife. I prefer this one. Just like guns or any other tool out there, prices and quality of knives vary dramatically. And there's a lot of, I wouldn't consider myself a knife guy. I don't know all the grades of steel and so forth and so on. I know quality and durability and the functionality of the knife, but you kind of in a way get what you pay for. There's always going to be that trade-off point where, you know, it's like you're paying so much for a name that maybe or may not be as worth it. Again, that's for you to make your decision on what brand you like, but typically somewhere in the middle, not the cheapest, it doesn't have to be the most expensive, but somewhere in the middle, anywhere from the, you know, the $80 to $200 mark is kind of where we go. One of my other favorite brands that I didn't bring with me today is Spyderco. I really think they're fantastic products, and I love all the Spyderco knives. That was just a quick one there. People ask a lot about knives and knife defense, so that kind of give you some direction as far as what you want to look for. Again, totally up to you guys as far as brands and whatnot. So you guys know where to find us. You can find us obviously here on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and of course we put our A-list content on Patreon. Until next time, remember, it's always better be judged by 12 than carried by 6.